This little thing's pretty wild going down through here, and it ends at the river. My little spot is just right down here, probably a couple 100 yards from here, something like that. I just thought I'd stop real quick and show y'all this little trail as I go down through here. There's the river. There's the river. And there's my little spot that I came down yesterday and raked and prepped and got ready for today. But anyway, I guess I need to go ahead back over here and start getting stuff out. And this is not a roughing it trip, okay? Usually, you know, you go camping, you want to rough it a little bit, right? Well, it's supposed to be mid to upper 20s tonight. It's probably upper 30s right now, maybe 40, if that, maybe. A little bit windy too. But anyway, the sun's out and it should be a pretty day once it gets, you know, I think it's supposed to get mid 40s today, something like that. And then mid to upper 20s some point tonight. But I should have everything I need. Now, how cool does that look? Breeze blowing, super quiet. All you hear is wind and birds and water. Super, super, super peaceful. I've pretty much got everything set up. Got a few more little details to do later. Set the battery in there, plug up the heater, and I'll show you. I've got him set up ready to go, just about. Got him fueled up and put him on my little hearth board. You've seen this from other videos. I use this with the buddy heater and different things just to keep from burning, you know, burning the tin or something. But I put decals on it, so it's now a racing hearth board. Yeah, y'all know how that works. You put decals, you put an AmSoil decal on a toaster, it's now a racing toaster. So this is a racing hearth board. I think I should be good to go here. It's really nice now. It's around 40, just guessing. Just afternoon sometime. It's around 40 degrees, guessing. Sun's out, it's nice. You know, there's a stink bug. Ain't too many bugs out, but the stink bugs are. Ain't you? All I've got left to do here, like I said, is set the battery in, and there's a cable. I brought extra stuff in case I wasn't 100% which way I wanted to hook it up, but I'm just going to go for the simplest way. That just goes like so, right through the tent door. You zip it up around it and you're finished. That's all there is to it. I've got my little remote right here, and I'll be using this tonight to keep my tent warm. And this is, as some of you know, this Banggood sent us this. It's an Hcalory. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Diesel heater. And I've got it fueled up. Like I said, you can see he's all ready to go. All I got to do is hook up the battery and hit start. and she should be ready to go. I test fired it at the house. She seemed to work okay. So, and if, just in case, you know, I'm crazy, not stupid. There's a difference, trust me. So I've also got a little buddy heater with me and a couple bottles of propane. It'll be sharing the propane with the stove, because I brought a really, really nice breakfast for in the morning. I've got some stew for today. Heather made some beef stew yesterday, and I just brought me some beef stew today. And in the morning, I'm going to get up and fix me a really, 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 really nice breakfast right there. But here in a few, I've brought me a big catfish pole, and stopped and got a bowl of chicken liver on the way here. So I'm going to go out here in a minute, and you know, it's kind of cool. I don't know, I'm sure the water's a little bit cool, but I mean, look at this. Let me show you something. Got my little rug up trying to catch some of the sand. You're not going to get it all though. I'll just have to shake it out when I get home. And I've got my heavy tarp. I don't think I'll need it either, really. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but just to be on the safe side, I did bring that. And like I said, I wanted to test it too. I'm testing several, not just that, I'm testing several. I've got some more I'm going to break out a little bit later too. Stuff that I'm just kind of, you know, new equipment. Give it a test run out in the real world, see how it does, that sort of thing. The bed's 110. It has a pump built in. You just plug it up, hit a button, and poof, your bed's ready. I've got 2 0-degree sleeping bags, and I also have, I overkilled it. I overkilled it really bad, actually, like hunting a fly with an atom bomb. Kind of overkilled it. I brought my big, I've got a great big thick blanket. I have no clue what it's made of, but it's super thick, super dense. But I have camped in 20-degree weather with just what you see right there. The sleeping bags, one laying on one, in one, and burritoed in between the big thick blanket. You know, the blanket, the big one across there, sleeping bags, and then the blanket folded over top of the sleeping bags. But I've got my big catfish pole, and I brought a bunch of stuff. I got my electric heated coat with me. You know, I'm not going to need it, but you know, we're overkilling it, right? We're luxury camping. We want to have things, right? That's the whole idea. But I've got a whole bunch of toys in here, and I've got more toys up front. Heather's brother, Steve, just sent us this amazingly bright flashlight, and it just came yesterday, so I just charged it up, and I brought it. I want to see that thing should light up. I mean, it should light up the whole riverbank with that one flashlight. So thank you, Steve. I'm looking forward to trying that out. But check out the view from my camp. Let's look at that, the wind. I don't know if y'all can see the wind blowing on the water, making all the little ripples and stuff. It's really pretty. And the water, when the wind stops, I noticed this earlier. I'm gonna walk down on my little beach here. Look at that, all kinds of tracks. All kinds of them. There's deer. And that's, looks to be a coyote. That's something else, some sort of possum, raccoon, something along those lines. A bunch of birds. Well, that's more like a, I don't know if y'all know what a marsh rat is. It's just a really big rat that gets around water. Liver loaded up. We are out there. Now we wait. hopefully we'll get a bite. I don't know. Like I said, it's late in the season. Water's pretty cold, but we'll see. All I know is I got me a comfy chair, hot coffee, fishing pole, bowl of liver, and some tackle. And some water that looks really good. Fish at this point would kind of be a bonus. Beautiful spot, isn't it? The rocks all down through here and swift water right there. This makes the area sound pretty, you know. Head down in a little while, fix some lunch, get stuff situated for later, probably gather a little bit of firewood to go with my Duraflame logs. And this should be really, really cool night. I'm looking forward to dark, you know. I'm looking forward to it. Just, I hope the frost comes before bedtime, you know, before I have to go to bed. So there's something about winter camping when the temperature hits 32 and, you know, everything just turns white, you know, more or less right in front of your face. And, you know, just the trees, the rocks, everything that has even the slightest little bit of dew on it, it just instantly turns snow white. Look at that. How cool does that look? Thing that would look cooler right now would be that fishing pole bouncing up and down. That'd look pretty cool right about now too, wouldn't it? All right, I just thought I'd show you my little fishing spot real quick, and I think I'm gonna get into my hot coffee here, warm up my hands a little bit. Thermos is warm. Cheating, remember? Well, it's been about 30 minutes and nothing so far. Don't know if it's, you know, like I said, late season, cold weather, whatever, but we ain't doing a whole heck of a lot, tell you that much. And one other thing that obviously is a problem that I didn't really foresee is all of the leaves in the water. If it were still water, it wouldn't matter, wouldn't make any difference, the leaves. But where it's moving water, you get like one of those big maple leaves right there, catches on the line, the water pushing behind the leaf, and all of a sudden your line takes off. You think you've got a big fish, you go for the pole, and then you notice the leaf on the line. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Check out that sweet little setup. That is cool looking, is it not? That just makes me happy, just looking at it. Got my Can-Am right here. I do my cooking right there. That's my kitchen area. Stove's back here. But check that out, man. That looks really good, don't it? But getting some sand in there. But I kind of expected that here on the riverbank. You know how it is. It's really easy to work with sand, make it, you know, smooth, and it's soft, you know, for your tent and all this good stuff. But it gets in everything. So, you know. But I set my little pole up here, right here at the campsite. I figure out in the center here, it's not that deep. It's about 5 feet. So, in theory, if anything is moving, they would, you know, go right through that channel. So, that's where I'm at. And we'll see. There's not as many leaves down here hitting the line. I don't know, I guess the swifter water up there, the choppy water, maybe pushes them to the side or something. Because there's nowhere near as many leaves down here at the campsite. I've got everything set up here. Got my exhaust. It comes out to got a little muffler. But I ran my line. I didn't need it, but I ran it through a second line just to make sure it doesn't touch the exhaust. Just to be sure. I had plenty of it. They sent extra. I figured why not? You know, it fits right in there and you have spare stuff. But I've got the hose all set up, got it turned. Got him formed to go through the tent well. And then the little angle thing on the end of it to deflect the air upward. So we should be good to go as far as heat. Can't really, I thought, oh yeah, there was a little peck, wasn't it? Either that or something going on. I saw something, that line dropped. Let me switch hands here. Kind of like to see it run down the river is what you're hoping for. You know, they'll grab it and run downstream with it. That sure looked like a bite. I'm not sure how I'll feel about it at 3 a.m. But for right now, I'm really liking the train. I think it's really cool. Just adds a cool effect, you know, right on the other side of the river. It's cool, isn't it? It's a good little spot. I like it. I'm just hanging out, having lunch. Thought I'd show y'all something. Check this out. I didn't bother with cooking today. I brought, look how thick that is. Great big chunks of beef. Big stew that Heather made last night. Look how thick that broth is. That is really good too. This is cool, man. Just kind of hanging out. It's still cold, don't get me wrong, it's still cold, but I got a little pair of coveralls on, you know, just to keep the wind off. And you know, just sitting around, got my hot coffee and excuse me a hot stew. And just enjoying the day, man, having a good one. This is awesome. I love this. I can't wait for it to get dark. Much fun as I'm having. As much as I'm enjoying this, I'm looking forward to nightfall. I'll put it that way. Yeah, this should be really cool. You know, get me a little campfire going and all that stuff, and have me a really cool night. Should be real snug, nice and warm, and get up in the morning and have me a really good breakfast. I'm gonna pull a hillbilly Julia Child in the morning. Anyway, see y'all in a minute. I moved a little lower and rebaited, trying to throw more or less with the current and keep the line semi-low out of the wind. And I'm using a little trick here that I thought I'd show you guys, in case some of you don't know this one. See that right there? It's just a little tiny piece of a styrofoam cup, you know, torn into a little square with a rip in it, so that the line will go through it. Open the bill, leave it open so it can flow, and you know, the little bumps, the little leaves, things like that, you can tell those versus a run. You know, if that little paper cup, it's a real good trick for lakes and night fishing as well, because you can see the little piece of paper real good. Real handy little trick. You know, I just thought I'd show y'all that real quick. I brought a thermal sensor. I got one outside and the other half of it inside. Oh, much warmer. According to that, it's 61 outside and 69.8 inside. So that sounds about right. It feels pretty warm inside the tent. You know, it's in the sun. But yeah, we should be good to go in here too. Should be all set up. I got the vents closed. That was the only thing really I was, you know, worried about. The tarp that right there was to more or less close those top vents off so my heat can't just flow right out the top. But with them closed, that should do it. Look at that. Just happened to be sitting here, you know, watching the fishing rod, and look to my left and the sun's starting to go down. The shadows are getting long, and just look at that, the lighting, you know, dirt and rocks and trees and water. But if you mix them just right, you get a view like that. Take a look at that sunset. It's just about to drop behind the hill up there. I'm just out grabbing some firewood, and just this little rock outcropping right below the tent. All right, there is the tent. It's got, like I said, making some little paths to the brush piles, put it that way. Gathering a handful of firewood, just mostly making paths for later if I need it. But just thought I'd show y'all that, you know, sunset down here by the Tug River. And there she goes. Beautiful, isn't it? The wind will come up through there and just blow up ripples and stuff on top of the water. There ain't much biting, to be honest. I had a line out there pretty much the whole time, all day long, and nothing but leaves hitting the line. You know, that's it. Look, that one's seen a few floods, ain't it? The river gets up way, like 10 times higher than it is right now. It's really low right now. It's usually almost up on that little sandbank. The last time I think it was maybe a couple feet from the top, so it's probably 6 feet lower now than it was the last time I camped here. Something like that. I like it. It looks really cool. I've actually impressed myself here. But yeah, just got my firewood. Should have enough ready with the Duraflame logs. I split them into 3 pieces. They last 3 hours, and I split them into 3 pieces. Put, you know, 1 or 2 pieces at a time, and a little bit of firewood on top of it. So we should be good there. Everything over here, got all that all set up. Right now, we're reading 37.8 outside and 39.7 inside. So a couple degrees difference inside versus outside. Just a little paraffin wax heater that I made several years ago. I think I've refilled it twice, and it'll at one time will last. You fill it up, it's about, I guess, about $8, something like that, and it'll last. If you were to burn it every night, it'd probably last for a couple weeks, something like that. A really long time, depending on, you know, the tin you use. Little short ones don't work so well. Tall ones work better. I can see, I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, little tiny sliver of sunshine on the top of that mountain right there. And that is the only little bit of sunshine that I see anywhere. So it'll soon be twilight, and she'll start getting cold, and hopefully it'll get freezing before bedtime. You know, I want to see everything turn white. And this one, look at this. This is the one I was telling you about, that Heather's brother, Steve. Thank you, Steve. Got us this. We had no clue where this came from. It just came in the mail and had, you know, the place that sells it, you know, their return address, and that's all it said. We were just bumfuzzled about where this thing came from. But it's really nice. It's USB. You can use it as a battery backup. It's got great big batteries in it. big rechargeables, and it's got a light on the side. But we'll see how bright this puppy is after dark. You hear it? Just like Mom used to make. Same brand, actually. It's exactly like Mom used to make. Still see little pieces. Yeah, mix it up good. I like it thick, double. Yeah, that'll work. That will work. Look at that steam coming off that. Yeah, get down there and buy some heat. I've got a snack. I got a cake out and some coffee and hot chocolate. 34 exactly outside. I got both up, but they're both outside now. This is, you know, the readout, the sensors over there, they're both reading outside. So we're 2 degrees above freezing. We're getting there. We're getting there, guys. That's okay. We got a nice warm fire, don't we? Looks warm, don't it? It is pretty warm, actually. Just hanging out by the fire, keeping warm. It's 8:23. And check this out. Let me get rid of the phone 1 second. 29.8. So we're definitely getting there, ain't we? It's a getting cold, folks. It's a getting cold. 29 degrees out. Just in case anybody's, you know, wondering, you know, sending Heather emails, you know, Leo's gonna freeze to death. No, I'm cool, actually. I'm wearing got my blizzard proof coveralls on. I've even got my heated coat on, which I don't have it on right now, but all you gotta do is push a button and she comes on. Simple as that. But we don't need no heat right now. We got plenty right there. But check this out. This looks cool that way, don't it? It looks better. It just looks better that way, don't it? I like that little bucket thing, the little metal, you know, little metal bucket. It keeps, if you have a regular fire, it's flat on the ground, all the embers. In this, it's vertical, you know, and all the embers stand up, basically, and the can itself puts off a lot of heat. Well, kiddies, it's about 9:30. And I think it's just about time to fire this puppy up. I've been looking forward to this for a while. Brought a little heat gun, a little thermal gun too, to check it out. That's it. And put that where it's not going to get knocked loose. That looks good. It's 28 out here, by the way. the 28.6, I had this over with me a minute ago over there. So that's why the difference, I guess. And we should be ready. Oh, power's down there. Okay.
Start heating.
Start heating. Alright. Had the wrong button. Okay, let's see. It's set on low. Oh, sorry. It's set on low. And it's showing a full tank. And it takes a little while. It takes a couple minutes for these to fire up. And I'll show you why. First, it has to purge the air from the fuel lines and then draw the fuel up, you know, from the tank all the way through the lines up to the fuel filter and into here. So it takes it a minute. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes usually to get going. You'll hear the click, click, click. You'll hear the pump kick in a little while. Let me see if I can't get a good light on it. You can hear a faint fan blowing. That's all you hear. I don't know how well you guys can see the bubbles and the air moving through the lines. That looks like the last of the bubbles. She'll start putting out some heat here in a minute. I see a little bit of a mist coming off of the exhaust. Now I've got it set to blow away from the tent. See a little bit of smoke, you see it? Just a tiny little bit over there coming off that tailpipe. And tailpipe right there. I love it. I still see a little bit of moisture on the aluminum line. I would imagine as soon as it gets warm, that'll evaporate pretty quickly. I mean, I know this is like, you know, the technology's been around. I think this is like 40s. They had these in World War II. They had diesel heaters. And obviously not nearly as fancy as this, but, you know, they did have them. So it's not like really new tech. It's just putting it into this super small package and making it portable. That's the new, you know, that's the innovation right there. That's amazing though, isn't it? That is really cool. I see steam. Oh yeah. Definitely. $102. Don't you love it when a plan comes together? All right, I need to quit with these old TV show quotes. That was A-Team, by the way. For those of you who didn't know. If you're under 40, you're probably not going to get that joke. You know, don't worry about it. It's cool. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera off and check everything out. Just so you know everything looks good and all that stuff. And move on from there. Well, it's getting late. I've got her running. Got it hooked up. Tank all filled. And put my tarp back on just to kind of close up those windows just a little bit. I'm sure it would have been fine, but you know, Got the tarp right there. Thought I'd throw it on. Fire's just about cooked down. He's all but gone. Check this out. Look how it's white. The frost. Hang on, look at this. It's that windshield. Frosty. It's hang on, I'll go check the thermometer real quick. Guess we're ready to go in. Oh, you can feel the difference. It's 26 outside and 50 in here. That was with the door hanging open. So I'm gonna close up shop here for the night and let that puppy warm up in here. Let him do his thing. That is so cool, ain't it? Love it, love it, love it. Moon's coming up. I just saw that too when I was out there. I forgot to mention it. You can barely see it right over there. Just a little speck coming up. It looks like it's gonna be pretty bright a little bit later, but yeah, we ain't gonna be there then. What time is it now anyway? It's 10:40 now. So it's getting a little bit late. It's starting to. I guess it's time to come in and close things down and unwind just a little bit. Maybe get me a bag of chips and snack for a while. Got me a comfy seat. Just sit back, warm up a little bit, enjoy some heat here in a minute. Close my door up and get ready for a good night's rest, hopefully. Check this out. "25 degrees outside. It's 77 in here." How cool is that now? There we go, 75. Uh-oh. Oh God, cold freeze. Cold snap, y'all. Yeah, I've got it. I'm gonna have to turn it down. It's coming up too quick. I've got it set on about 20-25%, something like that. So I'll turn him down. I got the remote over there. I'll turn him down here in a second. And when I get ready for bed, you know, I'll turn him down a little bit. I like to sleep, I don't know, 70, something like that. We'll drop him a little bit. And it looks like it's going to do really well, though, don't it? You can't beat that. That's right up there, ain't it? That is right up there, man. 75 degrees, 25 outside in a tent. Ha! Well, check this out. Actually, hang on. Let me get my light on real quick. And then I'll show you something. That's better. Look here. 24 outside, 74 inside. You can't get much better than that now, can you? We've been hanging out, having some chips. I'm trying to hang out just till midnight. It's 11:46. Can't really see it. Glare. 11:46. Now I'm trying to wait till midnight. I just want to see if the moon comes out, you know, before I call it a night. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it don't show up very good on the camera, but it looks really good here. Wow, I can see stars. There are all kinds of stars. You can't see squat on this camera. I see one right there on the screen. But there are just stars everywhere. The moon's right there. It's almost full. A little over half. See the Little Dipper? That is cool. And there's my tent. Hang on. There's my tent. You can see frost on the grass. The grass just sparkles in the light. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can certainly see it, and I'm sure you'll see it really good in the morning when I get up. But this is so cool, man. It is freezing cold out here. That big moon sitting up there, this is awesome. I let the fire go out. It's pretty much, it'll still be warm in the morning, but, I'm done with the fire for the night. So, anyway, I guess I wanted to come out and check that out. I guess I'm gonna go in and kick my shoes off and get ready. Well, I can see mist coming off of the river. That is cool. I can see my breath. Okay, we're ready for bed. 24.3 outside, 73.6 inside. And I've got my coat pillow. Got my coat pillow ready. It's about as good as it's gonna get. I don't have anything else to make a pillow out of. A tent bag. That's about it. But it'll do. It'll do for a night. I can make do with a coat pillow for one night, I suppose. Alright guys, good night, and we'll see y'all in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Overslept just a little bit. It was comfy. It's actually 9:30 in the morning. Look at this. Well, you can't see it without a light, can you? 23 outside and 60 in here. 58.8. It was 60. I just till I opened the door. Look at this. Can y'all see the icy, the white, the frost? My fishing rod's covered in frost. Look at this. I don't know if you can see this. All the little ripples are frozen on the sand. Look at that. It's white. Everything out here is frozen. Heavy frost. It's the end of that growing season, ain't it? There we go. That's better. Alright, I think I'm gonna cook inside just because it's 23 degrees. So, and I've already got my stuff. All I need is to move the stove. So I think I'm going to do that very thing. I think I'm going to cook inside. So we've still got about a third of a tank. It ran all night long, and we've got about a third of a tank. So that's pretty good. Yeah, it did great, by the way. It's the lowest possible setting, and the tent was nice and warm and snuggly all night long. That mist coming up off the water. It's cold, y'all. It's cold, but I'm wrapped up warm. I'm fine. But it is really cold out. I can feel it on my face and my hands. That's about it. But it is cold, yes. All right, I'm gonna get off here and get started, and I'm gonna fix me some breakfast. Well, it's a balmy 25 out here now. So yeah, heat wave. Got some breakfast on cooking. I was gonna cook inside, but Tell you the truth, I stepped out to use the bathroom and thought, it ain't that cold. I'll just cook outside. And the sun will be up in a little while. See it just about to top the mountain over there. And look at that. She's a cold one, that's for sure. It's a cold morning. Still yet got about 1/3 of a tank too. How cool is that? The whole thing did real good. I didn't get cold at all. I woke up a couple times, you know, trains, but that's it, you know. No cold whatsoever. Didn't get cold in the least little bit. The bacon and hash browns and stuff, I had it in a Walmart bag out in the back of the UTV. I froze it before I left the house so it would, you know, so it'd keep good. It was still frozen. It took me a minute to get the bacon peeled apart, but we got it. We're cooking, we're in the pan. We're working on breakfast. Ha! All right. Well, guys, what do you think? Looks pretty good, don't it? They're almost done. One thing I didn't take into consideration, I haven't found out yet. My eggs could very well be frozen. Drop it in there, and then just a frozen little ball. Oh well, we'll make something work. If not, we'll have bacon and hash browns for breakfast, right? That's still a pretty good breakfast, if you ask me. Personally, I like my bacon nice and crispy, so yeah, I like it crunchy. And the hash browns, I like them crispy too. And it's just saturated, swimming in bacon grease. I'll drain that, Heather. It's okay. I'll drain the grease. I know, cholesterol. But it's trying to warm up. I just brought this out. It's get it right. 32 outside, and it's still reading 39 from inside where I just brought it out. So we're up to freezing. Yay! Or boo, depending on your point of view, I guess. But check this out. The moon. You can see the moon hanging right here. Beautiful day. I think it's supposed to be mid 40s today, something like that. Not super warm for sure, but not freezing, I guess. It's a little early in the season for this kind of cold weather, but what the heck, right? Ain't much you can do about it. And it's gonna, you know, the growing season was gonna end in a couple weeks anyway. So it's over with now, isn't it? All growing stuff is over until next year. Winter is hot on its heels. It'll be snowing before you know it. Alright, I'm gonna take these puppies off and check on the eggs, see if they're frozen. Wish me luck. Hopefully them puppies ain't little frozen balls of egg. Now they weren't frozen, but you can see where that one was a little bit slushy. Oh, he was almost frozen, but he's good now. Yeah, he's a good egg now. How y'all like your eggs? Sunny side up? What do you think? What you in the mood for? Put them over the fire. Looks good, don't it? Not bad for a riverbank breakfast. Got my hot coffee. Dog hair. One of my dog hairs made it all the way out here and managed to get stuck to the coffee pot. Alright, Muffin. I know you did that. Oh yeah. This is the way. Getting right over the heat. I'm looking forward to this, man. This sounds good, don't it? I usually don't do breakfast, you know. I'll usually just eat a little bit and kind of go on about my day. But I figured, why not? And just do something cool for a change. And something delicious for a change, too. Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna do them over easy. I need to tilt the pan though. Hang on, let me try this. He's on there. And a little friend too. Oh, sorry, dropped the camera. Yeah, that'll work. 3 over easy. And she's 41 now, so it's coming up quick. It's 41. Oh, I moved the sensor over. Okay, they're together now. So they should line up here in a minute. They should sync. But I guess it's about time to take my eggs up. They look done to me. Yes, sir. Now that is a good looking riverbank breakfast. Check that out. That is awesome. I'm glad Heather talked me into doing this. Like I said, I usually don't do breakfast, but I have to admit, brother, that looks really good, does it not? That just looks real good. So I guess I'm gonna get off here for a second, and I am going to pig out. See y'all in a minute. Well, breakfast is over. And I've got all of my cookware, pots and stuff. I've got all that cleaned. Little pro tip, by the way, while I'm thinking about it. Those of you, camp, you know how when you're doing just a overnight or something, a day or so, you don't want to have to carry, dish liquid and all this sort of stuff. Space is limited even with, a Can-Am Defender. I bring water for me. But, you don't necessarily want to bring, like, dish stuff and, you know what I'm saying, right? But the easy way to do this out here in the field, okay, about 3 or 4 little squares is all it takes. And just wipe it down and throw it in the fire. And you do that about 3 or 4 times. And what you get, I mean, there's bacon grease on there. You can see how clean it is. It's a little sand, I've knocked a little sand on it here and there, wind. But yeah, works really good. You don't have, drippy grease in a Walmart bag. I've seen a lot of people do it that way. Just, put it in like 3 Walmart bags. Bag in a bag in a bag. But yeah, this is much better. Let's see. This one reads 63. That one reads 57. I guess it could have had shade on it, maybe. Anyway, I guess to the part that a lot of you guys have probably sat through the whole video to see the review of the heater. Hopefully none of you fast forwarded and you all watched the video all the way through and didn't just fast forward to this part because YouTube algorithms had a peak here and showed it was higher here. All right, I quit. Anyway, just right off the top, I will tell you guys straight up, I love this thing. Okay, now I'm just going to start my review right there. That's pretty blunt, wouldn't you say? It worked great. Y'all saw the temperatures, how warm it was in there. Man, look at all the sand. I'm gonna have to take a leaf blower to it when I get it home. But anyway, it did really well. You saw how well it worked, and I'll check the battery voltage here in a second, and we'll see how well he held up. As you can see, we ran all night long, no problem. I fired it up. I don't even remember now. I have to look in the video. About 9 or 10. And burned it until about 10 this morning. So I get the ballpark 11, 12 hours. And you can see this is a 1.3 gallon tank. So I've got about a third left. So I burned about a gallon. That makes sense. I burned about 1 gallon of diesel fuel. It's real simple setup. You know, you drill, like I showed in another video, you drill a little hole right here to put that valve in. But that hose just comes down, feeds through. Get over here. It comes in here, loops around through the filter, and back up into here, and where it's injected into the burner itself. Now the burner is inside here, and it actually shows on the screen, has a little digital readout. It shows when the fan's kicking on, and the little center thing turns red when it starts to heat. You know, it has little flames right in the center. Let me get out of light. Right in the center of that thing, it turns red and has little flames. It just looked cool. I thought it looked cool. You could hear it start to, you know, you could tell that he's doing something. But anyway, here's your intake, and when you get these, it just feeds right in, and there's your exhaust. Goes right back out underneath here. Your air intake is here, and it blows the hot air out right there. So you've got intake here, intake here. This one's for the burning unit, and this is the air that it heats. The air that it heats goes straight through and into your tent. And you can set this up different ways. If you set it up inside, it draws warm air from inside, okay, and warms that, and then shoots it on out the exhaust. If you use it outside, like I'm using it here as an external unit, you're drawing 24 degree weather, 24 degree air, heating that, and then shooting that on through. When you buy these, it comes as a kit. And there's more to it that, you know, that came with it that I didn't bring. Like they give you like 6 feet of fuel line in case you wanted to mount the tank someplace else. You can put it on the side of the unit and use it as a portable like I have here. But you can also mount it on a wall or something like that, or use a bigger tank. And it came with a whole bunch of fuel line and a whole bunch of this stuff and you know, just different things. It's really easy to put together. If you can operate a utility knife to cut this, and you know which end of a screwdriver to put in your hand versus which end to turn the screw with, you can do this. That's all it takes. It's as simple as that. You know, cut a couple hoses to length that one, and your fuel line. And you do need to drill a hole for the tank. I did mention that. You do have to drill the hole for the feed where it comes out of the tank. Right here. That one. You do have to drill a hole in the bottom of the tank. But it's really easy. I just used a screw. Your power line, it goes over to your battery, comes through there, and it connects here. You just plug it up. You know, all of this stuff comes apart. It goes inside here, and you close the door up. It's completely portable. You just put everything inside there and, you know, leave. But right there is your pump, and it has a glow plug like a diesel engine, and it uses you know, diesel fuel. And there's a lot more BTUs in diesel than there is in kerosene, for example. There's a lot more heat. I ran this thing on its lowest possible setting all night long in a tent in 24 degrees. It probably got a little bit colder than that. I'll check the low See how low it got last night. I'll check that in a minute. But we know 24. We saw 24. But I mean, it kept this tent. Y'all saw it kept this tent really nice and warm with zero issues. And I had it on its lowest possible setting. I mean, it was just, you know, the lowest setting I could get it to, and it did all that. So, but like I said, they come as a kit, and you can install it. So that you can use it different ways. You can install it in you could use it in your car. I would imagine it'd be a lot of heat for a car. But anyway, crack a window when it's on. But box trucks, I mean, you could do just about anything. A trailer to a semi, you know, you could sit this on top and have heat blowing straight down. I wouldn't be surprised. It'd do great. It would do well. I'm sure it would. But yeah, the options are, you know, unlimited. The things that come with something like this, you know, to be able to come out here, even in the coldest winter weather, I mean, that opens up a whole new world of adventure opportunities, if that makes sense. Yeah, adventure opportunities. It facilitates adventure. How about that? And maybe better. But it's really simple to use. Like I said, it came with a remote, which I didn't use. And there's a phone app that you can get to use. It's smart. It has Bluetooth. It will communicate back and forth with your phone, and it talks too, by the way. Like when you turn it on, it says begin warming or begin heating, something like that. And like when you turn it back off, it tells you to have, it wishes you safe journeys. Okay? It tells you to have a safe journey, guys. My heater told me to have a safe journey. Now, to me, you've heard that saying, it's the thought that counts. You know, presents and stuff. You can ask any kid, it is not the thought that counts. It's the present that counts. You cannot give a kid a pencil and make, yeah, I've really put a lot of thought into this pencil. He's going to hate it. It's the present. But anyway. Sorry, I get sidetracked, in case y'all couldn't tell. I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling good, all that good stuff. Anyhow, back to where I was. Back to the heater. Quit goofing off. But I guess we'll I want to check the battery and see how the voltage is on it. And yeah. So far, though, I mean, I honestly, I love the thing. It did wonderful. I honestly cannot say enough good things about this. Like I said, you could use this in a yacht. My other one at home, you know, I have another one of these, and it's an 8 kilowatt. This one's a 5. It said that on that one, it was for yachts in excess of 30 foot. So, you know, that'll kind of give you an idea of just how much horsepower. You know, you're actually talking a lot more heat than you would think. All right. Negative. Positive. 12.2, medium. Not bad for one night. So if I had my little solar charger, or, you know, my other little battery you can swap back and forth, I could probably get a couple days out of that, couldn't I? That'll work. And if I bring my solar set up, a place like this would work really good. You know, I could just put my solar panel right there. I've got real good sunlight here. That would work real good. How cool is that? It's like a little furnace. It's like having an itty bitty furnace that you can just, you know, throw in your trunk and take with you. As far as my honest opinion, from the bottom of my heart opinion, guys, if you like the outdoors and you want to add some adventure to your life, this, I guarantee, will do it if you use it. Now, if you buy it and you just leave it sitting in the closet, it ain't gonna work for you much. You know, probably a good backup heat source for your house too in the winter. Power goes out, I bet it'd be pretty good. But if you get this thing out here, man, and you use this thing, you will have some adventures. Anything you can imagine. Your imagination is your only limitation. Imagine that. That is cool. That's kind of deep, isn't it? Your imagination is your only limitation. Well, I guess it's about time for the one thing that all campers loathe. The hated, the dreaded pack up. But got to get everything lined up, get everything put back in its little things, get everything put away. Heather just found out when she edited this video that I brought her a good Tefal pan. I love you, Heather. I love you, baby. This has been a fun little trip, man. It really has. I've had a good time. I've enjoyed this. That'll work. Okay, start packing up. Boo. I'm eager to get home. I'm glad to, go see Heather and go see what the video looks like and all this kind of stuff, and get to brag on my little heater a little bit, get to show it off. I love that thing. Thank you, Banggood. I very much appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. I love your heater, love your product, and I would be more than happy to endorse it for you. Absolutely love it. Absolutely. Great product.